Welcome to the Trojan Windup. I'm your host, AJ Lawrence, and I'm going to give you the rundown on what went down during Week 3 of USC's baseball season. USC came into the week with an 8-0 record. That's their best start to a season since 1988. The Trojans were looking to stay unbeaten as they hit the long road to Fresno for a midweek game against the Bulldogs on Tuesday, February 24th. Junior Brooks Kriske was on the mound for the Trojans, getting his first start of the season, and he didn't disappoint. Kriske struck out 10 Bulldogs and gave up just 1 run in 5 innings of work. The Trojans took the lead in the third, scoring 2 runs on RBI singles by Dante Flores and Blake Lacy. But Fresno State got 1 back in the bottom of the inning on a triple into the right field corner. The Bulldogs tied things up in the 6th with a couple of hits off reliever Bernardo Flores. But the USC bullpen, they held their ground after that, keeping the score tied while they waited for the Trojan offense to strike again. USC finally retook the lead in the top of the 10th. A leadoff single by David Oppenheim, followed by walks to Bobby Stahl, and Garrett Stubbs loaded the bases with 1 out. That brought up Jeremy Martinez. He took a 3-1 pitch high to force in the go-ahead run. That's all the Trojans would need, as Mark Humerman came in and pitched a 1-2-3 to close out the victory for Troy. All in all, USC's pitching staff struck out 16 Bulldogs on their way to a 3-2 win. The weekend would bring a 3-game series against the Fordham Rams, the home of legendary Dodgers broadcaster Vin Scully. The Rams trip out to Dato Field was their first visit to the West Coast in 13 years, and their very first weekend series matchup against Troy. USC and Fordham are 2 of the winningest teams in college baseball, racking up over a combined 7,000 wins between the 2 of them. Though just 1-5 to start their season, the Rams had played well against Georgia Tech and Illinois. And Trojans, they knew the weekend wouldn't be easy. Friday night quickly turned into a pitcher's duel, with both teams putting up 0 after 0. Trojan starter Brent Wheatley had a strong outing, going 7 scoreless innings and striking out 11. But the USC offense, it could only manage 1 hit before turning things over to the bullpen. In the bottom of the 8th, the Trojans, they finally got their chance. A walk to Flores got the inning started, and a 1-out single by Oppenheim put runners at the corners for Reggie Southall. Southall tried to squeeze a run home, but after a couple of unsuccessful attempts, it was time for Plan B. A deep fly ball to right that carried over the wall for a 3-run homer. And the Trojans would need every one of those runs, as Fordham would not go down without a fight. The Rams scored 2 in the 9th and had the tying run at second when Kyle Davis got a ground ball to short for the 3rd and final out. USC had their 2nd consecutive 3-2 victory and were now 10-0 to start the season. Saturday's game got started a couple of hours early to try to avoid the rain, and the Trojans' offense followed suit, putting up a run on the board in the bottom of the 1st on a sacrifice fly by Timmy Robinson. Then in the 5th, USC added on. After 2 kickouts, Robinson got hit by a pitch to get the rally started. Back-to-back singles by Flores and Blake Lacy brought home 1 run, and a walk to Oppenheim loaded the bases for Friday night's hero, Reggie Southall. Southall came through again with a 2-run single to left center, giving the Trojans a 4-0 lead. Meanwhile, USC starter Kyle Toomey was in command, keeping the Rams scoreless through 6 innings. But in the 7th, Fordham once again showed that they would not go down without a fight. The Rams put together a walk and 3 singles to score 2 runs of their own, and it was once again up to the Trojans bullpen to finish off a close game. Things got even more tense in the 8th as USC reliever Jeff Paschke gave up a double and an RBI single to start the inning. After a ground out, a walk, and a wild pitch, the tying run was just 90 feet away with 1 out. Fordham third baseman Ian Edmiston pushed a bunt down the first base line, and it looked like the game would be tied, but it went just foul. On the next pitch, the squeeze play was on again, but this time the bunt went right back to Paschke. He was able to shovel the ball to Stubbs at the plate, who made a great block and tag to keep the tying run off the board. Davis came in relief of Paschke and got the next batter to line out to first baseman Jeremy Martinez, retiring the side. Davis finished off the Rams in the 9th, securing his 2nd save of the series and another tight 1-run game, this time by the score of 4-3. Sunday, the Trojans were at the ballpark early again, looking for the sweep with freshman Mitch Hart on the mound. USC's offense wasted no time, opening the game with back-to-back-to-back singles by Stahl, Stubbs, and Martinez to push the first run across and a sac fly by Flores later in the inning, making it 2-0. Meanwhile, Hart was on fire, giving up just a hit through 4 innings, but it was looking like it might be another tight game for the Trojans until USC came to life in their half of the fourth. The Trojans sent 10 men to the plate, scored 7 of them, including 3 of them on a home run by Flores that bounced off the scoreboard. With that, the Trojans had jumped out to a 9-0 lead and would cruise from there to a 10-1 victory. Hart went 7 strong innings for the victory, giving up just 2 hits on the day. It was another solid outing for the Trojans pitching staff, who lowered their ERA to a 2.15. After Week 3, USC remains undefeated with a record of 12-0. The Trojans all worked hard to keep things going strong, but there's a special player we want to recognize. The Trojan Windup Player of the Week. This week's winner, no one other than number 51, Garrett Stubbs.
It's great, but it's not me that gets Trojan Player of the Week. It's our team, and the way our team's been playing has been great. And I'm not going to be Trojan Player of the Week without 12 runs on the board, 3 runs on the board, and all these wins. So thank you very much for the choice, and we'll see you guys next week, and hopefully we'll come back with a few more wins.
Week 4 will bring quite a challenge for Troy. It faces 4 teams ranked in the top 25. On Tuesday, March 3rd, the Trojans head to UC Santa Barbara to take on the Gauchos before kicking off the Dodger Stadium Baseball Classic, which opens up on Friday for USC against TCU here at 6 p.m. at Dato Field. The Trojans host Vanderbilt Saturday at 2 p.m. and then head to Dodger Stadium for a crosstown matchup against the UCLA Bruins at 3:30 p.m. this Sunday. Grab your tickets for Sunday's game at usctrojans.com. Come out and show your support. There's going to be an epic battle between the Trojans and the Bruins. You can also catch the game on the Pac-12 network. Thanks for watching the Trojan Windup. I'm AJ Lawrence, and you can catch us here every week. Fight on.